Today we're going to solve abstract rational equations. Rational meaning fractions, abstract meaning more than one variable. And they're going to specify to find a variable. So it says find m. Alright? All that tells me is that m is more important than every other variable in the problem. Alright? Even though it says find m, it doesn't matter what it says to find until I have no fractions. And on top of that, I don't want any parentheses. I don't think there's any parentheses in your problem today, but parentheses are the worst thing possible. Fractions are the second worst thing possible. Deal with those two issues right away. You don't want either of those things because they cause mistakes. So, no parentheses. First tragedy averted. Second tragedy, fractions. We look at the fractions in the problem. The only fractions are 1 over x and b over m. C is not a fraction. The least common denominator of the two fractions in the problem is xm. So I'm going to multiply times xm to get rid of the fractions. The same way I've been getting rid of fractions every other time. You divide by the fractions denominator, multiply the result times the numerator. So when I do xm times 1 over x cancels x, I'm left with 1m. And you're welcome to write it as just m if you wish. That means the same thing. When I do xm times b over m cancels m, leaving me with plus bx equals. And when I do xm times c, there is no fraction there at all, so I'm going to get cmx. I like alphabetical order, so I'm going to tend to write things in alphabetical order. Cxm means the same thing if you want to write it like that. And again, this 1 in front of the m is not required, so I'm going to just erase that. All right. Once you've gotten rid of any parentheses, which there weren't any, and any fractions, there were some, now there aren't. Once you get to that point, now your next task is to identify what it is you're solving for. Again, it says find m. And identify every term that contains that letter. All right? And you want to rearrange the problem so every term containing that letter goes on the same side. Doesn't matter which side, just as long as it's the same side. So the quickest way to make that happen is to move this m over there. Bx staying on the left-hand side, Cmx staying on the right-hand side, so both of those stay the same sign. Bx stays positive, Cmx stays positive. M moves across the equal sign, so it's going to become negative m. Once you get the letter that you care about all put on one side, your next task is to take that letter out as a common factor. Even if there's more common factor than that, just take that out. So this has m, that's what we're looking for. If I extract m from each piece, I'm going to divide by m. Cmx divided by m is cx. M divided by m is minus m divided by m, is going to be minus 1. And that minus 1 is required, don't forget about that. Okay. If you have two terms up here, you have two terms in here. That still equals bx. General algebra rule. If I want to find out what something equals, let me give you an easier problem real quick. 2x equals 8. How do I find x? Divide by 2. Divide by what's being multiplied by x, right? Same thing's happening here. M is being multiplied by something. I want to know what m equals. So to get m equals the answer, I'm going to divide by what's being multiplied by m. So the result over here, the cx minus 1 on top and the cx minus 1 on the bottom cancel, leaving me with m all by itself, equals the answer, which is bx over cx minus 1. Now, let me just bring one thing to your attention real quick. We like to look in the back of the book to check answers, right? Okay, if it's an odd number problem. Let's say it's one of these problems here, and you go to check in the back of the book, and you did all that work that I just did, and you got that answer that we just got. All right? And the back of the book has this answer. That's the back of the book answer.
That's the right answer.
They're both right. All right? Here's how you compare, because I don't want you to have to rework the problem. All it boils down to is this. We move the m over to the right. They moved the cmx to the left and the bx to the right. Okay, so they did it differently than we did it. But they carried through the process correctly, just as we carried through the process correctly. If you want to compare your answer to a back of the book answer that doesn't match your answer exactly, here's what should happen. All three pieces should be the same objects with different signs. So bx on top, cx on bottom, cx on bottom, 1 on bottom, 1 on bottom. Bx and cx both negative, bx and cx both positive, 1 positive, 1 negative. If you have the same objects in the same locations with every single thing opposite, they're the same answer. So if you want to check the back of the book and they did it a different way than you did it, you can still verify your results and you'll see that you got the right thing.